We all know I am a massive fan of form and function, and anyone who has seen this laundry makeover knows that I put a lot of clever things into this space to make sure that it was beautiful, functional and durable. Now, one of the things that I popped in here, which I've never really been a fan of in the past, is an exhaust system. And I have a guest with us today from Ventair to talk about all the reasons why it's important. So I get the whole dust thing, right? But you said something to me earlier that really made me think about it's not just about the dust and the smells and the moisture. It can actually affect the longevity of your items in the space. Is that right?
Absolutely. It is really essential in a space like a laundry or a bathroom, anywhere with steam build-up or
heat.
water and heat, like you said, dust, to actually have ventilation. So it's so important to consider your exhaust options.
But I get the whole idea of ventilation, but let's face it, who goes home of an afternoon, grabs a glass of wine and says, I'm just going to go air out my laundry? Like no one says
Not
that.
me.
No, me neither. Whereas I have noticed since we've had this installed, every day I'll walk past and I'll flick the switch for the airbus to go on. And I'll know that all the animal smells, all the rugby smells, all the dirty towel smells, everything that's in a laundry is then gone.
Absolutely. And look, it's also working on those other important things like condensation, mold, mildew, all of those little tiny things that we don't see straight up.
But they build up,
can
don't
really
they?
have long-term effects on your products, things like your window treatments, your wall treatments, products.
Absolutely. And do you know what? Anyone who has watched the interviews I've done with Tammy Guess, the mold and mildew can have an epic effect on your physical and your mental health as well. So not only do you have to face the laundry, but you have to deal with it making you sick at the same time.
Absolutely. And often until it's actually visible, it's already caused a lot of damage.
100%, absolutely. And in the past, without offence, they used to be really ugly. Not like this one. They used to be not okay.
They really weren't. So there was not really a lot of thought into actually how they looked in the bathroom space or how they looked in the laundry space. This time, we really want them now to match the rest of the pieces that we put into a laundry.
Not be like the big pimple.
Correct, yeah. So this one is actually a nice slim, sleek fascia. It's also available in a round option, so we've got a square one here installed.
Yes.
Along in this range we have other options for square, round, black, white, titanium.
Wow.
LED light options, there's a glass fascia option, and they're just different pieces available to other components in our range.
That's cool. Now I know here, I did get the big Grand Poobah put in here. So I'm such a nerd. I checked the specs, I checked the airflow, I checked how far it could duct back into the roof space, because this is like, I have 4 children. This laundry is pumping day and night. And so for me, things like the amount of noise that it put out was really important, and the amount of air that it could actually pull through was really important. And I also knew that I had to position it up that end because of where the light was, and so I needed it to be able to pull airflow from the other side of the bathroom. But laundry, but everyone doesn't actually need an exhaust like the Grand Poobah like that, do they?
Absolutely not. No, you've chosen the right size for such a busy laundry.
Yes.
So I think that's been a really good choice. But you're right, there is other options available for smaller laundries. We've got smaller bathrooms, en-suites.
Perfect.
Even your powder room space has its own size exhaust available.
Have you ever walked into a powder room right at a guest house or a powder room, in a restaurant, and you turn the light on and it's like a jet took off?
Oh yeah.
And it's that's a great example of too big of an exhaust.
Overkill.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it really takes away, they might have the beautiful lighting and the beautiful wallpaper and the toilet rolls and hand towels in a basket, but it's kind of like you're in a plane while you're on the toilet.
Take off.
Yes, literally. So that's a good thing for, I guess, people to be aware of. It's not just about function anymore. They're not all big and ugly. The one here integrates in quite a traditional looking laundry. It has integrated perfectly. And for me, one of the things about exhausts are that they should be highly functional, if seen beautiful, but preferably just to slip in to the decor.
Absolutely. Look, I think it's fantastic that how you've chosen to do this, so it blends in beautifully and is very much a subtle way. You know, you've got it.
Absolutely.
Others like to make it a feature, so some people do choose our other options where there's maybe a black fascia
Yep.
that will match the black hardware and that kind of thing in the bathroom. Or
Options
space.
are endless now.
They really are.
No longer are they dusty looking grill covers.
Not at all. No, not at all.
Well, I'm excited that the world of exhausts have come forward, and for a couple of reasons. You all know I'm a massive believer in healthy, wealthy, and beautiful spaces, and that can't come and that can't happen without function. So when you're planning any space, it's essential at the planning stage, not at the end, because it's so much harder to retrofit. At the planning stage, you need to look at your lighting, you need to look at your airflow, you need to look at your heating and your cooling, and this is a perfect example where the guys at Vent Air can help. So thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having us.